Hello guys, my name is Archana Devi. I am Assistant Professor from Rajagiri School of Engineering, Kochi. This video is part of RSET Online for the subject Computer Graphics, which is an 8th semester global elective. The topic that we are going to deal with today is from Module 6 and it is one of the visible surface detection methods. So we have already seen what is visible surface detection method and 4 other methods we have already covered in previous lectures. So this is the 5th method that we are dealing in this module, and the method is called as scanline method, which is to detect the visible surface or to hide the hidden surface, eliminate the hidden surface. Okay, so this is one of the image space method. Okay, so we have already seen that the visible surface detection methods can be of 2 types. It can be either object space or image space, and this is one of the image space methods. So this algorithm is actually an extension of scanline polygon filling algorithm. So this algorithm we have already dealt in the 3rd module of this syllabus, scanline polygon filling. So where you have a polygon, like whatever polygon you have, and you will have scan lines. So based upon the intersecting edges, you will determine if the points between the intersecting edges are inside the polygon or outside the polygon, and based on that you will fill the polygon with colors. So that was that scanline polygon filling. This algorithm that we are dealing is actually an extension of this scanline polygon filling algorithm. The only difference is this deals with multiple surfaces. In the previous case we only had a single polygon. Here we will deal with multiple surfaces in polygons. Okay, so the process in this scanline algorithm is for, like, you have scan lines. Okay, you will have multiple, like if you have, see, look at this image. So if you have, there are 2 surfaces, so there will be scan lines like this. So for each scan line, all polygon surfaces intersecting that line are examined. Okay, for each scan line, all polygon surfaces intersecting that line are examined. And then what we will do is we will calculate the depth, okay, for each overlapping surface. Suppose if there is an overlapping surface, then we will calculate the depth of each of those surfaces to determine which is nearer to the view plane. That is, to determine which surface is visible. So when once the visible surface is determined, the intensity value for that surface, for that position, is entered into the refresh buffer. So we have the refresh buffer here, just like we have already seen this refresh buffer in our depth buffer algorithm. So where you will store the intensity value of a pixel position, of each pixel position in this refresh buffer, right? So only when there is a surface overlap, you will calculate the depth. If there is no overlap, means you only have one single surface, so the intensity information of that surface will be added to the refresh buffer. So this is the overall process. So for this you need some data structures. One we have called as edge table. Okay, so the edge table, it contains the coordinate points, endpoints of each line. For each of the edge that you have, you'll have the coordinate endpoints. Then the inverse slope of that line is also stored, and pointers to polygon table. So you have another table called as polygon table, which stores all the surfaces and the its required data. So pointer to the polygon table. So which all edges point to which table, which polygon. So for that you will have pointer to the polygon table in order to identify the surfaces bound by each line. So these information will be stored in the edge table in order to do this process. And in polygon table, you have the polygon table actually stores the data for each surface of polygons. So the coefficients of the plane equation of each surface. For each surface, its coefficient will be stored. Then the intensity information of each surface will be stored, and the pointers to edge table. Again, from here, how it points to the, like, which all polygon surfaces points to which all edges. So that data is also stored in polygon table. So this polygon table is actually covered in module 5, where it talks about what is the structure of polygon table, edge table and all. So if you have any doubt in that, you can refer to that topic in module 5. Then next we have active edge list. So active edge list is it contains the edge information that cross the current scan line in increasing order of x. Okay, so that is when you consider a corresponding scan line, what all are the active edges in that scan line? So the point to be noted here is those edges will be stored in increasing order of X. So those edge information is actually stored. The edge information you'll actually get from the edge table. So that information will be stored in active edge list. And then finally, you have a flag variable. This is a flag variable which stores either on or off. This flag variable is there for each of the surfaces of all polygons. So for each surface, what this on and off mean is, if the flag variable is turned on means if you are along if that scan line is along that surface, that's what on value for flag variable mean. If the scan line is not along that surface, then it will be off. So to indicate whether position along scan line is visible inside or outside, is on the surface or outside the surface. Okay, so that's about the structures that will be used in this algorithm. So then now let us see one example. Okay, in this example we will try to work out how the scan line algorithm works. Here we have to understand that the lines, scan lines that we have, it's processed from left to right. Okay, each scan line is processed from left to right, and then at the like how this flag variable will be set. So at the leftmost boundary of a surface, the flag variable is turned on. Okay, and at the rightmost surface, the flag variable will be turned off. Say for example, for this is a surface here. So this is the leftmost boundary if you consider the scan line 1. Right? So for scan line 1, this is the leftmost boundary. From here it will be turned on, and the rightmost boundary for the scan line for the surface S1 is this part. So at this point it will be turned off. That's what it means. So now let us take each of the scan lines one by one and find out. So our table that will be used here is your active edge list. That is a most important table in here that you have to consider. So if you take scan line 1, first you have to write down what is the active edge list. So you have to remember here that the edges will be entered in the increasing order of X value. Okay. So here if you consider scan line 1, you have the intersecting edges. For the scan line 1, you have AD, right? Next comes here, this is the first point. The second point is here, that is for the line BC. And then this is the third point, that is for the line EH. And the fourth point is for the line FG. So these edges will be entered in the active edge list. Now each of these intersecting points will be examined to see whether it is on which surface. So between AD and BC. So between AD and BC, here you can see that all these points are along the surface S1. Okay. So you have two surfaces here, S1 and S2. So we assume that S1 is in front and S2 is behind. Okay. So S1 is in the front, S2 is behind. So between the points AD and BC here, you only have one surface, right? You only have one surface. So how will you find out which surface? How will you find out whether the surface is there or not is by examining the flag variable. So if the flag variable is turned on means that the surface is visible on the scan line. Okay. So what we do is, in that case, if the flag variable is on, the intensity for S1, okay, which all these information you already have from the polygon table. So the intensity for S1 will be added to the refresh buffer. So from here till here, the intensity value for S1 will be added. And then you will take the next, so this is the first pair that we have examined. Now you will take the next pair between BC and EH. So between BC and EH, these 2 points, you have this part, small part coming of the scan line. Here you can see that there is no surface, neither S1 nor S2. So the background intensity value will be stored for these pixel position in the refresh buffer. The background intensity will be stored, okay, since the flag is not turned on. And then the last pair you have EH and FG. So between the points EH and FG, right, between these points, between these 2 points, here also you can see that you only have one single surface, S2. So the intensity for S2 it will be taken from polygon table, that will be added to the refresh buffer. Okay, so that is for the scan line 1. Now let us see scan line 2. So for scan line 2, the active edge list. If you write down the active edge list for scanline 2, you have AD, right? For scanline 2, you have AD. Then next comes your next intersecting edges for EH. So you have to store it in that order, EH. Then comes your BC and comes your FG, right? For scanline 2. So here you can see that the active edge list for scanline 1 and scanline 2 are different. It's not the same. The order is different. So if it is different, then you have to again process whether you have any depth overlapping coming. So here you will start with between AD and EH. So between AD and EH, you only have a single surface coming. So the surface intensity for S1 will be added to the refresh buffer. Okay, between AD and EH. And then next is between EH and BC. So here you can see that this is EH and this is between EH and BC, this part. For this part, here you can see that you have S1 as well as S2. Two surfaces are being overlapped in these pixel positions, right? So when you have surface overlapping coming between the pixel positions, in such cases you have to calculate the depth. You have to calculate the depth to find out which surface is near to the view plane. So here we assume that S1 is near to the view plane and S2 is behind, right? So since S1 is near, the depth information for S1 is near. Therefore, what you do is the depth information for S1 will be added to the refresh buffer for between EH and BC. Okay. Now again between the next between the we have EH and BC we have determined. Again between BC and FG you have. So again between BC and FG, here you can see that this is BC and this is FG. You only have a single surface. So since it is the same surface, there is no need to calculate the depth information. You add the intensity value of S2 to the refresh buffer. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Now if you look at scanline 3, for scanline 3 also you have the active edge list as the same order for that you had for scanline 2. That is, you have for scanline 3 also you have AD, next you have EH, followed by you have BC, right? And then you have FG. So as long as there is no change in the active edge list and there is no change in the line intersection order also, there is no need to calculate the depth information repeatedly. If there is no change, then you can directly, once you have traversed for the first line, whatever information depth, whatever depth information is there in the refresh buffer, that those values you can take. You need not calculate it again. For scanline 3 also, there is no need to, and it is unnecessary to perform the calculation. Let us look at the scanline 4 now. So if you look at scanline 4, you have the first intersection is AD, right? And then the next intersection becomes this line, HG. So here you have a change now. And then the next intersection becomes CD. And then the next intersection is FG. So here there is a change. So the moment there is a change, again you have to calculate the depth information in order to determine which surface is near and not. So between AD and HG, you only have one surface. So the surface intensity of S1 will be added to refresh buffer. Now between HG and CD, here you can see that you have two surfaces, right? S1 is also there, S2 is also there. So again the depth calculation will be made in order to determine which surface is near. So here S1 is again near, so S1 will be added. The surface intensity of S1 will be added in the refresh buffer. So like this, we will take each scan line and the scan lines will be processed from left to right. And when there is an overlapping surface, you have to calculate the depth value in order to find out which surface is near. If there is no depth overlap, based upon the surface flag, you will add the intensity value in the refresh buffer. Okay, so here this process will work only if there is no overlapping. This surface will work only if there is no overlap between the, say for example, if you have a line that goes inside through this, okay, if you have a line like this, or if you have two surfaces like this, in such cases this surface will not work, this method will not work. So that should you can have one surface in the front and one surface on the back, and like that you can have. Okay, so that is this algorithm scanline method. So I hope this algorithm is clear to you. Okay. Okay, thank you.